I believe today is a vindication for the rights of immigrants, that today we have to reflect, all of us, on how we talked about this case in the beginning and how this swarm of reflection and reaction on the base of what I believe to be the racial dynamics of this case. Nothing about Mr. Garcia Zarate's ethnicity, nothing about his immigration status, nothing about the fact that he is born in Mexico had any relevance as to what happened on July 1st, 2015.
Oh my God, I can't even believe those words were said by that man. It is breathtaking on almost every level, and almost wrong on every level. Joining us now for reaction to try this, sort all this out, is Michael Wilds, who's an immigration attorney in New York City, and in San Francisco, Harmeet Dillon, an attorney, a Republican strategist. She focuses on a lot of civil rights cases. She's a litigator. Harmeet, let's start with you. When this came across my phone tonight, I actually got choked up. I got choked up for the Steinle family and for every American family who's been brutalized at the hands of criminals who should have never been in this country in the first place. Your take.
Absolutely, Laura. I mean, as a citizen of San Francisco, I was tremendously disappointed, not to say ashamed, of my city and that jury today and the verdict that they gave. You heard the political rhetoric coming out of the attorney there, Matt Gonzalez's mouth, and despicably conflating this criminal illegal alien who has several times been deported from this country with law-abiding immigrants like myself and other citizens of this city, and as if we have no rights at all. And this is really an example of the city of San Francisco's rolling out the red carpet for illegal aliens, and this is the logical net result of that.
Michael, I want to go to you on this. He said this verdict has a lot of relevance. It vindicates the rights, essentially, of the undocumented. So is the message today, if you're an undocumented immigrant, you are deported 5 times, you can come into the United States, shoot someone, and get off on all murder charges? Is that part of the message today? Because that's what happened.
No, sadly, Laura, I join you and everybody this evening for the sad loss for the Steinle family and what looks like justice not being served. I happen to be a former mayor and a former federal prosecutor myself, and there are multiple truths and theaters that happen here. This, sadly, although a terrible event, is an isolated event and a pure result of a poor prosecution by a state court prosecutor who did not succeed in bringing home a guilty verdict. The prosecution didn't succeed in it, just like immigration didn't succeed in stopping this man here. But for ICE's poor presence on the border or poor ability to do this, this young lady would have been alive. And today we cannot scapegoat immigrants or immigration or refer to these individuals all by one big sieve as people that would cause Americans harm. Let's not forget, unless you're an American Indian, we all hail from immigrants.
Yeah, Michael, don't spare me. Well, hold on, Harmeet. Michael, I'm sure you're a very talented lawyer. I was one in my day. But for you to kind of spout out the cliches about we're a nation of immigrants, we have a dead 31-year-old girl right here, and we had an illegal immigrant, whose San Francisco refused to hold on an immigration detainer in sheer defiance of federal law which is supreme over state law when it comes to matters of immigration.
Laura,
that is an outrage to all Americans. They did not hold him. They should have held him. When he was removed from the country, you bet he shouldn't have come into this country.
So, Laura,
but for people like you who stand up for these criminals, when Americans are being brutalized and immigrants who are legally here are being brutalized, frankly makes me sick to my stomach tonight.
Laura,
Harmeet, go, and then Michael, you respond. Let Harmeet respond, then you go. I'm in no mood for the cliches tonight. I got to tell you that.
So Garcia Zarate pulled the trigger, but let's be clear, blood is on the hands of the politicians in San Francisco who have made the sanctuary city policy the law and kept all of us unsafe for a long time, and also on the hands of the Obama administration, which did not enforce our borders for 8 years. And one of the reasons that President Trump was elected into office was his promises to seal that border and keep us safe. And frankly, now our entire state of California, thanks to our governor signing the bill earlier this summer, is a sanctuary state. So every citizen in California can look forward to this type of situation occurring if we don't protect our borders. It's really past time for us to do that in this state.
Michael, you can answer.
Thank you for giving me a moment. And Laura, I resent the insinuation that I'm a cliche kind of lawyer. I was a federal prosecutor, and I share the loss of this family. The bottom line here is ICE has laws on the books and should have done a better job at stopping this. And until they stop this properly, we can't engage in a political diatribe in the courts. The courts forensically found that he had caused an accident. It was not something he intended on doing. He should never have been here, and this young lady would have been alive had ICE stopped her and stopped him. And you want to know something? There are so many ways, whether it's the building of a proper wall or the enforcement of the laws on the books, that we can stop the federal felons and criminals from re-entering. Mind you, this man can now be prosecuted federally for re-entering the United States after he serves the time for the illegal weapons charge. But let's not scapegoat immigration or make this father think that but for all the people that have accents in this country, his daughter would have been alive.
First of all, who's saying that except you tonight?
No, you just said cliche. You accused me.
No, your cliche. Your cliche is trying to rope in. You're trying to conflate legal immigration and immigration.
No, I'm trying to address the bifurcation of our system.
Tedious
Laura,
to everyone.
let me speak, please. I'm trying to conflate the bifurcation.
No. Because you said No, you can't when I'm speaking. Actually, that's the way the show goes. So when you keep saying you're scapegoating immigrants, no, we're not. What we're saying is he should not have been here. You bet he should not have been here.
He should not have been here.
But don't take the blame, all of the blame, and put it just on the feds. When the feds had a detainer out on him, and San Francisco did not honor it.
So let me finish my sentence. The feds have a detainer on him, and it's up to the feds to use their due process, yes, that is not a dirty word, to go out and find this gentleman and have him deported.
They release
if they're expecting the local police, who are overwhelmed with their own jobs, to then hand somebody over like this, that's a violation of due process.
All over again. And frankly, they're being victimized in hearing these types of arguments.
So let's zigzag.
These arguments are
Laura,
ridiculous.
what you're saying is let's zigzag through the legal system and forget due process and just pull this guy by his ear and have him out because he may kill somebody. The next people
sounds good to most Americans right now.
I understand that, but the next people that will be victim will be other Americans when you start pulling away constitutional rights.
Laura, this is a joke. What happened in San Francisco is the sheriff deliberately let this guy out. They let this guy out like they let people out every single day on the streets of San Francisco. He was hanging out for 2.5 months, waiting, a ticking time bomb for this crime to occur. He will now serve under our California laws maybe 2 or 3 years for this crime. And then guess what? Catch and release again. Thank you, California. We are not safe here.
We gotta go. We gotta go. We're way over, guys.
City is a symptom of a broken system, and we need to fix it.
It's a symptom of everything. Michael, you made some good points, I gotta say. You made some good points in the show. But this is not about legal immigration. This is about illegal immigration, period. Both of you, thank you.